Mariano has been crushing poker streams to the tune of over $2 million in profit. But is he actually good, or is he just lucky? Let's take a look at some of his luckiest hands and decide for ourselves.
Andy might be the best. Mariano's got King 10 suited.
Mariano raises his King 10 of diamonds here and gets 3-bet by Charles on the button to $1,800. Andy makes the cold call, and it gets back around to Mariano, who decides to bump it up to $9,000. Charles makes the call, Andy makes the call, and we're taking a flop with $27,000 in the middle.
Do we get a potential diamond flop? Oh, no! You gotta be kidding me! We've got a straight flush against the nut flush. I cannot believe this. I have never seen anything like this in my life.
On the 3 of hearts, Mariano finally decides it's time to put some money in this pot. He makes a bet of $8,000. Charles, of course, gets out of the way, and it gets back to Andy. Andy decides to raise $35,000, and why wouldn't he? He's got the nut flush. If I'm Mariano in this situation, I definitely want to be just flat calling. I don't want to be putting in a raise here. A raise here looks so strong in this spot, guys, like absurdly strong.
Imagine having a straight flush and getting raised.
To the point where Andy might start thinking Mariano might have a straight flush in this situation. So I really like flatting here and just underplaying our hand, let's just say. And then obviously on the river, we're going to try to get these stacks in one way or another. He does decide to make the smooth call.
$97,000 in the pot. Board does not pair.
And the river does bring the 6 of diamonds, which is not a great card for Mariano, because now if Andy had 2 small diamonds that he check raised the turn with, those hands are not going to be able to put any more money in here in this spot. So Mariano definitely does not like this card, but Andy, of course, still feels like he has the best hand. You can't put Mariano on a straight flush. You never put people on straight flushes, guys. It's not really a thing, you know. You don't just like assume your opponent has a straight flush and then check your nut flush. So he's definitely gonna put in some money here. So Andy puts in the $120,000, and then when Mariano goes all in a second, like in a split second, Mariano decides to jam, and Andy has this concerned look like, what is this guy doing? I just overbet the river and now he's jamming over the top of me. He definitely has some reason to be concerned. Mariano is not just going to be doing this with a bare king of diamonds. That's never a thing. Although Mariano could be bluffing. The only hands Andy beats at this point are a pure bluff. I don't like Mariano's snap jamming here, because if he was actually bluffing, you would think he would have to go into the tank and actually think about what kind of hands should I be bluffing here? What kind of hands does Andy have in his range? And can I ever get Andy to fold an ace of diamonds in a situation like this, right? So you would expect Mariano to be tanking a little bit more if he was bluffing. That's why I hate this snap jam by him. I think this is really bad to just go all in within a split second, because it's kind of telling your opponent, I don't have anything to think about here. I have a straight flush, I'm all in. I hope you have the ace of diamonds and I hope you call. His snap decision here could have made Andy find a fold with his ace of diamonds because of the reasons we talked about. Mariano is not going to be jamming the king of diamonds here, and he's not going to come up with a bluff that fast probably. So Andy probably should fold here. In our next hand, Mariano raises the 10-9 of clubs on the button to $2,000, gets called by Peter and Jeff the Cash, and we take a 3-way flop.
Mariano, 2 calls. Gut shot for Mariano.
The flop rolls off Jack 7-5 with 1 club, giving Mariano a gut shot straight draw and a backdoor flush draw. He decides to make a continuation bet of $2,000, which I think is totally good in this spot. Peter check raises him to $10,000. Mariano, of course, makes the call with his gut shot to the nuts and his backdoor flush draw, and we take the 2 of clubs on the turn.
Flush draw. Peter with a double gutter now.
And Peter decides to make a bet of $30,000, which is slightly over pot. Mariano, of course, is not going anywhere. Now he's got a flush draw to go along with his gut shot straight draw to the nuts. So he makes the call. And we take the 8 of spades on the turn, the cleanest card in the entire deck for Mr. Mariano. This gives Peter a straight, but it gives Mariano a higher straight. But there's even more to the story than that. The way this hand played out, Mariano should not have any 10-9 combinations in his hand, or any 9-6 combinations, because 10-9 and 9-6 would have certainly folded the turn unless it was the 9-6 of clubs or the 10-9 of clubs. So those are the only 2 combinations that Peter loses to in this spot, because 10-9 offsuit of anything or suited of anything else besides clubs does not call the turn, and the same thing with 9-6 suited of anything else besides clubs does not call the turn. So this is a massive luck box situation for Mariano. The way this hand played out, I can't imagine a world in which all the money is not about to go in right now. So Peter thinks he's got the nuts here, basically. So he decides to make an overbet of $120,000, and now Mariano is just salivating here. Okay, guys, he is ready to put this money in.
An overbet, and here comes an all-in from Mariano. And I don't see how Peter can possibly fold.
So Mariano's acting like he's thinking about something here. He's got the stone cold nuts and it's disguised. He obviously ends up moving all in, and now Peter's kind of checking his eyes. He's like, what the hell is going on here? Do I have the nuts? I thought I had the nuts. Can he have 10-9 here? The answer is yes, Peter. He can have 10-9 of clubs or 9-6 of clubs. Those are the 2 hands that beat you. He can't really have any of the other combinations. You can't blame Peter for making a quick call here, and Mariano takes out another massive pot.
He was having maybe his worst night ever on Hustler Casino Live, and he has completely turned it around. How does a man run like this?
In our next hand, Mariano has the ace-king of clubs. He raises it up to $1,000. He gets called by Doc Hollywood and Hook. Then Taras decides to 3-bet to $6,000, and Mariano decides to 4-bet his ace-king of clubs to $20,000. Doc Hollywood and Hook get out of the way. Taras makes the call. We have $42,000 in the middle, taking a flop. Jack 6-2 rainbow flop, missing both players. You would expect just a continuation bet and a fold here, but that's not what we're going to see, guys. Mariano does decide to make the continuation bet of $10,000, but Taras is not ready to fold, even though he has absolutely nothing. He decides to make the call for absolutely no reason at all, and we see the king of spades peel off on the turn.
Table silent as Mariano eyes up his opponent's stack.
Taras checks it on over to Mariano again. Mariano makes another bet of $40,000 right here on the turn, and now you have to think the hand is over. But wait, Taras is not ready to fold just yet.
Why is his hand not finished?
Oh my God! Taras goes all in with 7 high.
Mariano, of course, makes the call with ace-king here, but he's not expecting to see 7-5 of absolute nothing. So here we see another luck boxing situation for Mariano, where someone just decides to go absolutely off the rails and punt off money to him. Our next hand here is as wild as it gets. We see Double M raising to $1,000 with his pocket kings. Han and Dario both make the call. Yang on the button, also with pocket kings, makes a 3-bet to $6,000, and then you'll never guess what happens next. Mariano wakes up with his pocket aces, of course, and then decides to make a 4-bet to $16,000. He's got both these guys with pocket kings in terrible shape.
This is reminiscent of the World Series of Poker main event hand from a few years ago.
Double M decides to make a smooth call with his pocket kings here. It gets back over to Yang, and he's gotta think he's got the best hand in this situation. So Yang decides to make a 5-bet to $55,000. Just imagine being Mariano, guys. You've got the pocket aces, and you've got people putting heaps of money in. The guys are announcing raise, 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 and you're just laughing. What a life this guy has. Mariano decides to just call here pre-flop. I don't like this. I would much prefer an all-in here. I think it's very, very likely, the way this hand played out, that at least one of these guys has a hand like queens or kings, and they're probably not going to fold. I really like an all-in play here, and also his flat makes it so that Double M can call behind with a hand like pocket jacks and pocket queens, in which case he's going to go to a 3-way flop with pocket aces and potentially get sucked out on by a hand like maybe a king queen suited, a pocket jacks, a pocket queens, a pocket kings. So I really, really like going all in here in Mariano's shoes. I don't like his flat. And then Double M decides to go all in, rightfully so, guys. He's got to think he probably has the best hand here. He's got to think Mariano would probably have jammed his pocket aces in this situation.
I'm talking to Double M.
Yeah, but he's because you're both in a hand.
It's okay. Yeah, he's all in. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay, we're good. We're good. Don't worry about it. I'm just talking to him. I said something to him, which is totally fine because he's all in. He's all in. He didn't say anything to me.
And then Mariano's acting like he's upset about what's going on here. Like he's like, oh, what's going on here? And he's got pocket aces, so he's not really concerned about what's going on. I think it's very, very weird the way Mariano's acting here in this spot with pocket aces. And if I was Yang, I would never think that Mariano has a hand like pocket aces in this spot. I would think Mariano maybe has a hand like ace king, maybe a hand like pocket queens, maybe even a hand like pocket kings, but never pocket aces with the way he's acting in this situation. Yang ends up making the call, which I don't blame him. And then Mariano, of course, makes the snap call. He's got the nuts, but little does he know he's in incredible shape here. He's 98% to win this three-way all-in because both of these guys are holding pocket kings. How lucky can you be?
Unbelievable spot there.
Our next hand here, I'm gonna let Doug Polk do the talking for me.
Mariano, pocket sixes. He's been VIPing a few hands.
Nice.
Raising it up. Alex, hadn't heard from him for maybe an orbit, but he's back. King three of spades, raising it up. I feel like there are some battles that are going to happen. The Mariano Alex one and the Mariano Andrew one already brewing. Oh, quads for Mariano. Wow. Mariano, did he take the lead here? I think he called a 3-bet. That's small. Alex is going to make the call. How can Mariano extract maximum value here? Checks it over. Alex is a very aggressive player. He might choose to fire here. If he does, those chips are never coming home.
It'd be cool if you could play music and it wouldn't get picked
Checks
up.
it back. Wise check.
Oh,
King on the river.
It's going to cost him a little bit more money.
Now what's Mariano do? Does he go for the trap or does he go for a bet? Looking like he's using for some chips.
Ooh, I like this.
Small bet on the river, 800. Alex is at least calling. He's got top pair. It's very disguised. But now he has to ask himself, should he raise or just slow play it? He's reaching for chips.
Oh.
3,000. Yep, still quads. Mariano, still quads.
Mariano's
gonna put in a raise.
I don't feel like it. Barman had one yesterday. It was alright.
Of course, Mariano has quads and gets paid the maximum out of King 3.
$40,000 pot goes Mariano's way.
The last hand we're going to be looking at here is a wild one. We see Nick Airball making a raise to $3,000. Then Mariano waking up with the Ace King offsuit right behind him, making a 3-bet to $9,000. Peter then decides to 4-bet his pocket fives to $23,000. And it gets folded to Mariano, who can now put in a 5-bet or just call here. Being that he's out of position, I like making a 5-bet here in this spot. Mariano does decide to make a 5-bet to $57,000. I don't like this sizing here, guys. Being how deep they are, I like a sizing more about $75,000 here in this spot, maybe even $78,000, around that range. I think this 5-bet is just way too small. It's incentivizing Peter to come and take a flop with him out of position. I don't like this sizing. Peter, of course, getting this amazing price in position, makes the call, and we take the Queen 5-2 rainbow flop, which gives Peter a set, and Mariano just 2 overcards.
The 3% there is running straight cards for Mariano.
Now, being that Mariano did 5-bet here pre-flop, I really like a small sizing continuation bet here. I prefer something around $30,000 in this situation, but Mariano decides to make a continuation bet of $60,000, which is quite large. It's even slightly above half pot sizing here on this very dry rainbow board. I don't like the sizing. I don't approve of it, because if you have hands like pocket aces or pocket kings or ace queen or even pocket queens, you want to choose a small sizing here and keep Peter's middling pocket pairs still lingering around, like the pocket sevens, the pocket eights, the pocket nines, hands like that. You want to have those hands still come along with you. So that's why I really prefer a smaller sizing in this situation. Of course, Peter makes the smooth call with his set, and we take a turn. It's the 10 of spades, and the way Mariano played this hand so far and that big sizing that he used on the flop, now he has less than pot size left, and he can easily rep a hand like pocket aces, pocket kings, or even ace queen in this spot. So I really like just going all in here. His hand also blocks some combinations of Peter, who can have a hand like ace queen or king queen here and maybe think about calling this jam. So having an ace and a king here is good to block some of Peter's calls, and he's gonna have at least some equity versus anything. A jack is always gonna be good, and he still has a lot of fold equity, although he has less fold equity than he would have if he bet the flop a smaller sizing, right? Because when Mariano goes to $60,000 on the flop, Peter probably folds out some of those middling pairs. He probably has a range that's very top pair heavy in this spot. Mariano's jam does look very, very strong because of that in this situation, but unlucky for Mariano, he does decide to find the all-in jam here right into Peter's set, but the hand is not over just yet.
Okay, twice, right?
2 times. Can Mariano hit a jack?
After some negotiations, they decide to run it 2 times, and Mariano is not ready to lose this $680,000 pot just yet. He loses the first run out, but we all know what's gonna happen next.
Can he hit a jack 1 time? Mariano. To stay in the game, it's a jack! Oh my god! Unbelievable! Mariano!
Mariano is the luckiest player on earth. I've spent hundreds of hours watching Mariano play on streams like Hustler Casino Live and Poker at the Lodge. I don't think he's that good. I think he's okay at best, but the way he runs keeps him in all these high stakes games over and over and over again. He keeps sucking out on his opponents. He keeps getting amazingly lucky spots. On a side note, I've made over $5 million playing poker and coached hundreds of students, and 95% still make the same 5 mistakes. Click the pinned comment down below and I'll show you exactly what they are and how to fix them. And if you're just here for the content, hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one.